What's up, Quadcopter fans? AnglerDrone.com. Today I'm going to be doing a test flight with my MJX X600. Got a nice open field here, which is the baseball field, to give it a test flight. It is a little bit windy, so we'll be somewhat cautious of the wind. We have our onboard camera recording the flight, so we're going to get a little bit of a test as far as range goes. See how much range this hexacopter has. So, handling great. Medium speed. We're not in the high mode as of yet. And, you know, the camera on board is not going to be the greatest in terms of quality of a video. And this thing is a little bit tough to see for orientation purposes once it gets out there. It's hard to tell the front from the back. All the blades are black. It almost looks identical from any view that you're looking at this quadcopter from. But nice, even, smooth flyer. It's having some throttle dropout issues, as you can see right now. It does need a little bit of throttle input to keep this sucker in the air. But cutting into the wind nice. Not seeing any issues at all, other than orientation, just a little bit of the orientation. So we're flying it fairly aggressive. In the medium mode, your pitch angles are pretty aggressive on this quadcopter. We're flying into the wind, as you can see. You know, no problems with the pitch into the wind. Picking up speed as we turn away with our back to the wind there. Again, flying into the wind. We don't even need to be in the high advanced mode, which the high advanced mode on this does have some issues. We can go ahead and flip it in there. It automatically starts flipping when you reach a certain point in your pitch. So there's a front flip that it'll do. So it'd be for more high-speed acrobatics. So we got kind of a crazy half side flip there. We'll go ahead and switch it down into the medium mode to get away from that. When it goes into this mode here, then the function actually is up on the top right bumper for your flips, which is also the camera button, so it's a little confusing as to what happens when you hit it. Do you flip, or is it a camera? Could be a long press, short press. I'll have to check out the owner's manual a little bit more in order to get exact details on how that works. So we'll just fly it around here. Wind is picking up pretty heavy, but again, it's handling nice. And I mean, this thing just cruises, cuts through the air. That's the benefit of having 6 motors, 6 props. You're gonna get a nice flyer like this. In terms of price, it's only $33. You can get the SEMA X5, which is a quadcopter. The Explorer's for $50, but that has an onboard camera with it. This does not. This is a makeshift camera that I've got on there currently right now, rewired. It looks terrible as far as image quality goes. Very choppy, but you know, at the end of the day, it does record. I'm not sure if I messed it up in any way by soldering on it, but I could have. But I think the camera's just kind of junk. So by the time you load it up with a native or possibly like a stock type camera for this particular quadcopter, there we go. It gets a little hard to see that orientation in some instances. So you know, if you were to load this thing up with a stock camera, you'd probably be at the same price, and I do like the SEMA. I like the way it flies. I've had some range and throttle dropout issues, which is kind of bizarre. As well as it losing binding with the controller. This thing actually, it flies better. It's a little bit cheaper. Again, that's cheaper without the camera, but taking a liking to this one a little bit more than the SEMA. Now this does have its hover issues here. It has an issue with holding its throttle position, but you can actually spring load the stick on the right side, because the design of this control is to be able to switch right to left, and by spring loading the left stick, which is your throttle, it will center and it'll actually make the quadcopter stay in the air without any throttle dropout, which is cool. So it reminds me a lot of the V303 Seeker, how those sticks are spring loaded, where it centers itself out at 50%, which allows it to be able to hover. Now this is more of a faster paced quadcopter or hexacopter. It's not a camera bird like the V303, where you'd want that stability and that hovering. Nevertheless, still a cool feature. So as you can see, it's going up, which is better than going down in my opinion. So we'll go ahead and we'll click the function button and do a flip here. And it just did a front flip there. I was trying to go to the side, not quite sure why it did a front flip. It was doing that to me the other day. I was trying to do a side flip. But very fun to fly, very aggressive flyer, very fast flyer. Still in this price point, once you get, this is 30 some odd dollars. Once you get into $50, personally, for my money, I would take a Tarantula X6 any day, just because bigger motors, better lift, more of a full-size quadcopter. Even though the motors are lighter than most of your motors you're going to find with your full-size quadcopters. So it looks like we're running out of juice here, so we'll go ahead and bring this sucker in for a landing. We'll flip off our left stick, which keeps the throttle at 50%, and the landing gear on this thing really sucks. Bounces, flips over. Go ahead and hit the camera off. Well, that flipped for some reason, I believe. Stop the camera, and if we can get it to stop recording. Red light's still on, so I'm assuming it's still recording. But this is the MJX X600 Hexacopter. Very cool, highly recommended. If you're able to get an opportunity to buy one, it makes a great one to add to your collection. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos in the future, flight reviews, and if you have questions or comments, leave them in the box below.